Hey everyone, welcome to the next root building episode. If you remember from our last episode, we did a lot of track work over here in Coeur to get things cleaned up. We're going to start over here. I need to add some speed limit, and we can make a final check to make sure we've caught all the signals that need to be on the line. Once that effort is finished, we're going to come over to the yard. In the Trackwork area, as you can see, there is some work that needs to be done in the yard, so we will tackle that. I've also added some scenery objects that I want to add into the yard, like this icing platform for the reefer cars. And over here, I've got some buildings which, if we can fit them in, I'm going to use them. But I want to build, first off, an area for the cabooses to be stored. Because this area here actually should be a car repair or a car maintenance area. And I may swap that building out for this one. I found in my collection. This is an SAP object, and it looks pretty nice. So that might be the thing to do over there. And then you'll notice we have some diesel refueling items here. So I want to come over into this area and rethink what is going on over here. I want to fix this area here especially because in some of the recent episodes in Coeur d'Alene, we've seen that this switch actually does not work. And we have seen over here, I believe it is this switch does not work. So these are all things that we want to try to clean up in this episode. Have about 45 minutes was what I'm planning. If we run out of time, we'll just pick up in the yard here next time. I think it's going to be worth the investment of time to really clean this yard up. And I may look into replacing the turntable, because in recent episodes, this turntable, if the engines take up the entire turntable bridge, this bridge just spins around. And that's not really the the activity we want when we're trying to grab locomotives or turn locomotives. So we're going to try to address that issue also. So let's get started. And what I'm going to do is come down here and I'm going to grab one of our speed symbols, and there we go. So now we're right where we are on the list over here on the right hand side, and we're going to come down the line and we're going to go to where we started our revamp of the main line, which is basically right here. So we have the speed dropping to 40 miles an hour here, and we have that. So probably what we're going to do is let them go 40 miles an hour down here. And when we get down to this area here, I think we're going to drop them down further. Let's drop them down. Well, this is getting into the yard, I think, isn't it? Because the yard is right over. Well, no, actually no. So we can. Let's go ahead and right here, let's put in a mile, let's drop them down to 30 miles an hour in here because we want to get them slowed down. And then over on this side, we would want them to pick up speed to 40 miles an hour. Okay, so that's done. And now when we come down here on the original layout, when they got to about here, we dropped them down to 20 miles an hour. So we're going to do that here. And then we're going to add the 30 going back the other way. And then that gets them down into this area here. I'm going to put a reminder in here. Sometimes Trainz drops the speed limit. If you're running like a real long train, you'll find that it slows down, but then all of a sudden it speeds back up to the old speed limit. So I usually put a few speed limit signs out on the main line, just so that we can keep the train moving at the speed that it should be going. And that gets it down to here. And of course, we did no work around here, and we've got the 20 here. So we're good to go there. Now this side track, we need to put some speedo things in here. So what we're going to do here, since this is a spur, I'm going to put that down to 15 miles per hour. And since this is conflicting with that, we're going to... Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of this. We'll put him down here. I don't want him conflicting with the speedo there. Okay, so there's that. This all should be 15. I double click so I can flip it. And this is 15. There we go. And let's get some crossing. Let's get these in here. And I'm going to leave that alone there. And let's see. We got those. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make it consistent. There we go. This can go here. And there we go. And then we want it up here also. Okay, so now we've got that. And that's 15. Let's check our track marks. We want the Coeur holding southbound to be here. And then we have the Coeur freight arrival southbound can go a little bit further down. Now up here where we did make some track changes, I want to fix this. I don't like this switch here. So we're going to take this switch. Let's grab some track here. We're going to take this out. Don't need this. Now that changes this. So since there's no signal here, let's get rid of this. And then we want to come down here and we can put this here. This goes away. Don't need that one anymore. That goes there. So that can stay like that. this is where I want to put the switch. Let's see which one this is. This is the left. So this is where the original switch actually was. So we're going to go ahead and grab this. I'm going to utilize this, and we're going to bring it down like that. And I'm going to straighten that out because that just makes the switch look nicer. We're going to straighten that out. And then we're going to tell the switches, we're going to put him over here, and we're going to put him so he's always favoring that. And this guy's going to go like that. Now, with that done, I need a left-hand signal here. So we'll do this. And that is correct there. And then we want this one here. And we want over here, this can be like this, but we need the other one. Okay, we want that one. Okay, so this one's fine like this. And then you want the one that's going to force the stop to be going this way. Okay. And then over here, we can put this over here. That goes like that. And we want the one that's going to force the stop to be over there. So that fixes the signals here for this interchange. All right. And I see one more that we need. And that's going to be this one right there. All right. So now we come down here and we need it to blow whistles. So I'm going to come over here and go whistle, signal. This is a, let's see. Whistle signal with horn sequencer. That's the one we want, version 4. So let's take version 4. So this and this need to go right here. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to put these over here. That will make it so that as trains approach, they will blow the whistle. Now this track here is going at a slower speed limit. So I'm going to put a whistle stop there. And we've got one right here. Okay, so there's that. Now that goes there. The left, that, okay. All right, now, so this is a right. We've got that. We've got those. Okay, so now we've got some more signals. Now, over here, I think I want to do the signals here. We're using these. Oops. We're using these signals here. So I think we'll go like that. What I want to do here is this. We want to set this up so that when the switch is thrown, it shows us what's going on. Okay, so we have that. So here we can do the same. And that should be good. And that should help that. I'm not going to put anything here This needs to be fixed. So let's get up here with our textures. There we go. Okay, so now let's see what this is doing. Okay, so that looks good. This looks nasty. So let's see what we can do here. So this needs to go like that. And then let's get this like that. There we go. Let's get the textures up here. Okay. Now, let's get over here. We want this controlled, and we want this controlled. That's a left. Just move him down here. Okay, now we come down here, and again we have signals. So we will need this and this. So it's controlled. And then we want to do this and this. And we want to do this and this. And then we're going to do this and this. This is the bread company. And this and this. Okay. And then we're going to come down here and do this and this. And we're going to do this and this over here. This can go, oops. Is here. That is what we want there, and we also want another one here. Okay, and we have these signals for that, and we have this here. And we don't need anything here. Okay, so that with that, let's go in and look at our Trackwork. All right. There we go. So let's see what we're dealing with here. There's that. Now that has messed this up. That's nice. Let's see what happens if I move this. Yeah, so it doesn't like that. All right, so let's get this. What we're trying to do, let's get him up here. Does that, oh, that fixes it. Look at that. All right, so if I get rid of that, what does that do? Okay, that keeps it. Very good. Okay, so that cleaned that up. Okay, now this is a little curvy, so let's do this. And then we can come up here. This is like that. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Does this help it any? Doesn't. It does not. All right, so let's go here and see if we can't move the ground down a little bit. There we go. That makes that look a little bit better. That looks good. Let's go down here. So we're now on track. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, so we're good there. Alrighty, look at this. Here, let's get over here, see what we can do. Do a shift. So I have a little bit better control. Oops. Maybe there. There's that. Yeah, so what does this do? Okay, there we go. There we go. Now let's get our ground. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Okay, well. Oops. Well, that's not good. That's not going to help us any. Okay, so we'll just go there. All right, now let's... Sometimes you just have to live with what you got. There's the crossings. We want the old. Yeah, that's... There's this. There's that. Okay, now, you see all this grass growing where it shouldn't be growing? You go up here to the topology tool, and we want the ground turf, because that's what this is. And we're going to put the down height down, and we're going to cause all that grass to disappear off the road. So when you have areas where the grass should not be growing, this is how you fix that. There we go. I also found out that a lot of the ground coverage, some of the ground color clutter, I should say, if you're editing in the fall and winter, you may not see it. But if you change your month into the summer months, then all of a sudden you'll see the vegetation. I stumbled on that by accident. I used to think when I would try to put ground clutter on the ground, I was like, why isn't it showing anything? Why doesn't it work? And that was why. So it's neat that this ground clutter is affected by the month and year. There we go. And it's taking a little bit longer than I expected it to. The clock is showing about 20 minutes. I may run this episode over and make it an hour long. We'll see. Let's get through with this. I'd rather do this correctly than rush through it. I did enough rushing through it, building the route. So let's make the cleanup so it counts. And go from there. When I release the this module, we won't. Let's see what this is doing. This is a spline. So what we're going to do, we're going to move it over like this. And then we're going to move this over. Because what we're trying to do is get the trees off the road. Okay, let's go back over here to our grass cutting. Yeah, we want to do this right. But the as far as the current operation videos go, when I release the updated module 1, I'm not going to incorporate those into the episodes until we have cycled through the original module 1, which means that we'll continue down the line to it's not McCall, it'll be Riggins will be the last division that we hit on that layout. And once we're done with Riggins and it's time to go back up to Spokane, that will be when I move everything over to the updated module. You guys, of course, will have access to it because it'll be up in the DLS. I never brought this over. Well, we'll have to figure out what we're going to put there sometime. Let's, though, put SAP. I think there's an underscore. Yeah. So let's go ahead and put this here for now. And that takes care of that. And just like in real life, there's lots of opportunities here for further development. There we go. I'm going to put another one just to make it. Okay. All right, so we got that. And I like the track work. I think we've got that all squared away. We've got the speed limits and we've got our signals. And down here, I think we just need to go down here to make sure that we've got everything we need down here. Yeah, we do. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's throw this into driver. And of course, then we could jump down the layout. Sorry about that. So let's go back up here. There we go. This is Coeur d'Alene over here. And what I'm interested in seeing, the reason I did that was because I want to look at, oh wait, we can't do this yet. Well, actually, let's go where there's some trains. So let's go into our yard. Oh, that's right, we're in the master layout. technically we don't have any trains on the layout. So let's go back into Surveyor. There we go. Let's put a train on here. So let's see. Let's just put a NP FTA. There we go. That's all I need. Okay, and then let's go down into Drive. And what I want to look at is in the menu. So Drive to Trackmark Coeur. Let's see what we have. Coeur. There we go. Let's go down here to two Spokane. Okay, so we've gotten one of them fixed. You'll notice these doubles. I have no idea where these are. Let's see if we can go down and find them. So I'm going to go back over here. There's got to be a way to fix this layout so that the menus work and you don't have these confusing track marks that are duplicated. One works, the other doesn't. Okay, so I have it, so it's showing the, okay, so here's the two Spokane. So let's take this. I'm going to copy this. Or actually, no, let's mark this like that so that we can see it on the menu. And let's see if there's any other track marks. There's a tree that needs to move. I don't see anything. Those track marks are there to help the train navigate, because sometimes it'll end up going on the wrong tracks and whatnot, and it just causes all sorts of havoc on a large layout like this. Oh, what's this one? Two Spokane 4. Okay, let's A. Okay, I think that's where they end. All right. So we've confirmed the track marks on the line. So the ones that are A, why don't we do this? Instead of A, let's just put good or use. I'll put use in there. So when we release the layout, where did it go? There it is. So when you use the layout, it'll tell you the one to use. So let's see. Use. Okay, and then we'll go do the same on the other one we found. And that'll make it so that there's no guesswork. You don't have to worry about it. If anyone has knowledge of how to clean those drop menus to remove track marks that basically do not exist on the layout anymore, please post your comments. Go into comments and post the instructions, because the preferred thing would be to remove the track marks that aren't there. And that would be my preferred solution to this. This here is a very frustrating embankment. Let's see if we can fix this before we get jumped in. So what I'm going to do, this track here is just a little too close. And then let's see if I do this. That gets it cleared out. But you can see that we have a problem over here. So let's move him and see if we can move this there. Okay, so that fixes that up. And then we need to fix this here. Now, what I don't want to do is this, because see, then well, actually, that kind of fixed it, didn't it? Well, that did better than I thought. I thought it was going to do the same thing again. Okay, so now what we need to do, let's see if we can bring this back just to get rid of that area over there. It's really touch and go with this stuff. And then let's bring this back like that. And then let's, what we're going to do, we're going to do that. And do that. And I don't want this big dip over here. So let's go here and make this smaller. There we go. Okay. And there's that. That fixes that. And that makes that all look real nice. Now let's go like this. And like this. And then let's see what happens if I do this. Oh, it was already straight. Okay, well, that's what we'll do. Okay. All right, got that fixed. Now on to Spokane 3. That's the other track mark. Is this it? This is it. And then, oh, no, that's Z. And this is, we're going to do the same thing. So we have use. Okay. All right. I think that's a good temporary fix until we figure out how to clean those menus up. I'm wondering if I can go into the config file and if that's where I can get it to clean up. But if you know, post the comments in the comments, the instructions to do it, and I will go in gladly and get those items moved. Okay, so drive to track mark. Okay, so now we've got it so that 2 and 4 have been fixed. Or no, I'm sorry. 2 has been fixed, I believe. Yeah, I don't see 2 up here. So 2 has been cleaned up by our track removal effort. 3 now is telling you which one to use, and 4 is telling you. So these 2 here are the active track marks. These 2 we need to figure out how to get them off the menu. So with that said, let's get back into Surveyor. And it shows we have 5 minutes left. So what I'd like to do is continue. I want to get a little bit of work done in the yard here. So we've got all this cleaned up. So let's get over here to the yard. Let's start with cleaning up the track. Let's see. Let's get into track. Okay, so there's that. I wonder if I'm gonna need to rebuild this yard. There we go. Okay, that got that for the most part. All right, so let's okay now. There's that. There's that. Goes. Like that. Go. I don't know if this will ever be perfect. Okay, so now this one here. Okay, there's that. And that there. That's our signal that the episode is run out of time. Okay, that there. This needs to come up. And then this needs to come up more. Okay, so let's, if I do this, what does this do? Yeah, I don't like this. We're going to run over because I'm going to get rid of all this. I just do not like any of this. There we go. We're going to just get rid of all this. There we go. And then let's get rid of this and get rid of this. Okay, now, the heck with it. Now I'm going to make a line. This is the line that we want. And then we're going to cut these away from it. And this is the other line, but you know, interestingly, this side looks pretty good. It's just this side that was all funky. Okay. Okay, so now let's see. Oh. All right, so it didn't like that. Oh, because of that. Okay. All right, so that's where we want that. Okay. Okay, so now let's get this working. So we want this to come up to here. And then I can get rid of that. Okay. Now, I need this to come over to this. All right, and then let's make that like that. And then we can go like that. And then I need to go here to here. This is the local. So this can come down here. Okay, so this here. There we are. There's that. Now we need this. We need this fixed so that it works. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. There's that. And then we can do this to this. It's almost working. Okay. I got the whatchamacallits here. And let's get there's that. Okay, so we have that. Come on. And then we need to make that straight. And then this goes over here. All right, so now we've knocked this one out of whack. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's get him down here. There's that. Yeah, that's not going to work either. All right. Okay, so we're going to get rid of all of you. The heck with you. There we go. Let's get rid of the whole yard and we'll rebuild it. There we go. now we're going to go from here. We're going to make our lead track. I can go all the way up to here. And he doesn't need to be there. And let's put a thing here and then straighten him. We need him straight. Okay. Now, we need a straight track going all the way down to here. Okay. Okay. All right, now let's get this to be like that. There we go. Let's There we go. All right. Okay. Now with that done, we have the basis for our new yard. So I am going to stop there, and in our next episode, we will rebuild this yard and label all the tracks so it can be used. Then we'll move over to the engine servicing facilities, and we're going to redesign all this track work so we can incorporate diesel servicing into this area. So with that, I'm going to leave it. So thank you for sticking it out and watching this video. We hope there were some things that you learned, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun working on it. Please subscribe and like and comment and hit the bell so that you know when these episodes are released. And with that, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.